started. Greetings, this is Edward Jumbo. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to set up the Home Assistant, which is an open source smart home automation. And we're going to set up in Podman. We can also use podman-compose. So you can follow along if you use Docker. Everything is just a drop-in replacement. Quick reminder that I do a live stream every single day, except there will be two or three more times this month where I will not be able to, but I'll put up a short video for you guys. And also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. I'd like to thank everybody who subscribed so far this month. Okay, so if you've been thinking about automating your home, look no further than Home Assistant, which is a powerful open source platform that runs entirely offline on your own hardware. With a thriving community, frequent updates, and support for thousands of devices and services, Home Assistant gives you full control over your smart home. So in this guide, we'll introduce Home Assistant and explain why it's a great choice for privacy-conscious smart home enthusiasts, and walk through a simple containerized installation using Podman or podman-compose. I'm not going to bother with Podman anymore. I'm just going to use podman-compose because I've done so many videos with Podman, and podman-compose is just so much easier. You just have to set up the YAML file and you're good to go. Okay, so obviously if you don't know what a smart home is, it's for home automation platform. That's the Home Assistant. The focus is on local control and privacy. For example, you can integrate everything from smart lights, thermostats, to motion sensors and voice assistants, all while keeping your data within your network. I personally don't have any so-called smart devices, at least home-wise, even though my house is relatively new. The reason for that is because I just prefer to do things manually, and I will set up my own. Don't worry, I'll set up my own things, like for example like the chicken webcam. That's the type of stuff I like to be able to control it, so Home Assistant will be able to help me that in the future. Okay, so I'm using a Linux system, specifically Fedora Linux. So I already have Podman installed, of course, and also Podman installed. So if you're using if you're not using Linux, don't worry about it. The process is the same, except for example, if you're using, for example, I said I'm on Fedora, so mine is pretty simple. Just DNF install Podman or podman-compose. If you're on a Debian type system, it's app install podman-compose. It's pretty similar. Now this is I'm going to use this YAML file. So version here doesn't really matter as long as it's at least version 3. So I put version 3.7, you could put 3 or 3.8, it doesn't really matter. As you can see, the image, we're going to grab this image from this repository, the container, as you can see also here, and I've stopped. Network mode is host. It's going to obviously use the host network as well. It's going to create a bridge by itself, and then it's going to, as you can see here, this is where the file is. So as you can see, it is going to create a config folder and put all the config stuff in there. And then one very important thing is your time zone, your environment. So I'm in, I'm not really in Toronto, but close enough that's your time zone. So just make sure to change your post whatever time zone you're using, so you can adjust this to your liking. Okay, next, and then you just stop the Podman on the command line. It's that simple. And then you go to this in a browser. So if you're on a network, obviously you'll be able to connect this from anywhere on the network. So let's take a look at that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop to the command line here, and all I type is podman-compose up-d. -d means to detach. So as I said, you can do all the same thing when you're running if you're running Docker. Now mine is fast because I already ran this before. It already has the images. So as you can see here, Home Assistant, so this is running, and you see it creates this config folder. Inside the config folder, it has all these things needed for Home Assistants. So we're not going to take a look at that today because that's up to you. I said I want to keep this short and sweet. So the next thing we're going to do is these are the screenshots as you saw when it took a while to install first. And then so let's actually go to that URL, which is right here. 8123 is the default port number. So let's go there. So I'm going to open up a different web browser because this doesn't work. So what I'll do is, okay, 127, you can use localhost, and then we go to, what is it, 8123. So you see, we get the welcome screen, and it says create my smart home. Obviously, this is the first time obviously you can change the language here as well. It's just two English and English Britain. I'm okay with that. Yeah, so you can also download apps, you can read their vision, or you can join their community. So for example, if you click download the app, if I click this, you see it will take you to it will have the QR codes where you can download it from the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. So that way you can have it on your smart device. I wish they had one which was like a PWA app. That way you don't have to go and install those, use those proprietary systems. Okay, doesn't matter. So as you can see, if you have a backup, you can also restore. So in this particular one, I don't have a backup, so I can't restore. So what I'll do is, I'm not going to use the cloud. So I'll click here, create my smart home, and it's asking me to create a user. So I'll create a user here. Okay, it's asking for a password. Should I spell the password right? Okay, confirm the password. Okay, then hit create account, and then you see the location by default. For some reason it's Amsterdam. I don't know where that is, so I was gonna pick something like Toronto, Ontario, let's say Canada. Yeah, so that's perfect. I'm not actually here, but this is perfect. So I'll pick the golden horseshoe and click next. Then it goes to the screen where it says help us help you. So basic analytics, usage, statistical data, and diagnostics. So you see they're all off by default. This should be the default for all applications. You should let people opt in. It's never opt out. It always should always be opt in. So this is up to you. The reason I'm not going to opt in is because obviously I'm going to disable this for now, but you can if you wish, and you can still change your language here as well. See, by default it found one device, which is the USB. I think that's actually I think that might be the laptop. That was probably the laptop. I don't think it's the phone, and I don't think it's the. It could be the. Let me check the system here. No, so that's definitely, most likely it's a laptop. I don't think it's a phone. So there we go, finish, and you see this temperature, it's actually hotter than this right now. It's 30 degrees or 60% chance of rain. It just rained for like, literally, I'm not joking, rained for 30 seconds. So I'm hoping rain more today. Okay, so with that said, next. So we're done. We have installed it. So let's do a quick overview of this. So what we can do is we can go to let's go here to the media. So in the media, you see, if you have cameras, remember I still want to have the chicken webcam, so I'll be able to control the camera there, and then you can also have your image uploads, your media, radio browser. And you can also have a text to speech, and you can also have more. You can also install more like add-ons to this. So then after that we can go to the. You see, have here developer tools. So let's go to settings. So the settings you see here, there's the home assistant cloud. I said we're not going to use this. There's devices and services, automations, areas, dashboards, voice assistants, tags, people, system, about. Now obviously if you're setting this up for yourself, you won't need any of these, but it's all up to you if you want any of these. And of course there's no, for example, notifications. You can also right now there's no notifications because I haven't enabled anything yet. So after that, you can also go to the developer tools, and you can see in developer tools there's quite a bit. These are the YAML files. I showed this to you in the config folder. So as you can see, there's a lot of things here as well. You can modify scheduling, scripts, timers, zones, and then the states. As you can see, there's a lot of things here you can play around with. For example, the to-do, so many things. See, there's one person, that's obviously me. I just signed in. Then there's actions here. There's templates. As you can see, it even shows you how to create your own templates. And events, statistics, and assistance. Okay, then after that, we can also go to, did we check out settings? Yes, we did. Okay. So we can go to my profile, for example. You can see here, I can change the language here as well. And then the number format, time format, and date format, time zone. We can change all these things here as well. You can see all the browser settings. That's for my personal profile. There's to-do lists. So you can add an item. So for example, I can put here install chicken webcam. Okay, so there you go, and then it's completed. Right, so that's up to you. So we talked about media. There's history, and obviously this has just been installed today, so there won't be too much history, but as you can see, you can choose a device and all those things and color code them or tag them. There's a logbook. So as you can see, this is pretty straightforward because this is what I've just done for today. I literally just installed it, so there should be very little history. And as you see, the one thing in the shopping list, which was the to-do list, energy, you can monitor the electricity guild. So this is probably something I should do. I believe my meter is pretty much new. If I wanted to, I could put it here because it's actually outside. It's actually pretty hard to see because especially now. So this is probably something I could probably add here, especially. You know what I could also add here? The solar panels, right? I do have solar panels as well. I mean, I don't think I'll hook them up to the house, but maybe with some Wi-Fi or something, I could hook those up as well. Then I could be able to monitor them as well in my home, smart home, especially near the chicken coop. Okay, then you obviously have the map. We talked about this. I'm not in Toronto. I'm actually pretty far away from Toronto, but that's usually where everything defaults to here in Ontario. And back to the overview. And of course we have so that's it. That's the overview. And I don't know why it says unknown. Why does it say unknown? Oh, I guess, okay, that's fine. I don't know, it says unknown, but that's it. And then obviously you can do search for things, and there's an assistant here. So how can I assist? How do I connect my solar panels? Okay, I was just being silly, but you get my point. So obviously this is just a simple it's about the home assistant. I was just being silly there. Obviously there's voice as well, so you can do the voice assistance, and you see how easy it is to set this up. Anyway, so I said before, I don't have any any bulbs or anything that are capable of the so-called smart home. But I said I will use something like this in the future, especially if it can control the cameras and near the chicken coop, and obviously near my raised bed. So that'll be really fine for me, especially if, for example, if the neighbor's cattle come too close. I can maybe hook it up so that it makes a sound. Like, remember the scripting in the developer tools? I could probably do that. Okay, so that's basically it for Home Assistant. Hope you liked this tutorial. and you see how quickly it was to set up. It just took literally less than 60 seconds to set it up. So if you need help installing, updating, or migrating your Home Assistant setup, or if you're just starting out with programming, I offer one-on-one tutorials and customer support. So you can contact me at ojambo.com/contact. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Home Assistant is one of the best open source tools for smart home automation. By using Podman, you gain a lightweight, secure, and rootless container environment that integrates seamlessly with your Linux setup. Start small, and before long, you have your entire home running on automation tailored just for you, which is 100% true. Okay, also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. Okay, so I'm going to end it here, and I don't see any chat requests, so you guys have a nice day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Let me also know how the new microphone is working. If the audio is better than before or worse, let me know. I'll show you my settings. You see that's the settings right here. It's actually not full settings. Hopefully it comes out well. Okay, guys.